You can wear your faith on your sleeve all you like, but you're not a true Christian until you've bought the Jesus Christ cheese grater. That's right, it's real, because as I've always said, what better way to express your reverence for the Lord than by forcing mozzarella through his face? No, I'm saying I have to see La La Land. I'm skipping a movie, not denying the Holocaust. If I want to see a musical about an art snob who comes to LA and meets the girl who inspires him to open a nightclub, I'll rewatch Xanadu. Makers of Tiny House World, Tiny House Hunting, Tiny House Builders, and Tiny House Nation have to get together with the producers of The Biggest Loser and make a show called Does This House Make Me Look Fat? Well, the Taliban has to promote a more diverse workplace environment. This week, the Taliban named its new leader, and you guessed it, another heterosexual Muslim man. Well, we think heterosexual. It's hard to be sure when coming out of the closet gets you thrown off a roof. But come on, guys, isn't it time for a bearded lady? Newell, the guy who figured out he could unlock his Samsung smartphone with his penis instead of his fingerprint has to never explain to me why. But it just goes to show how technology comes full circle. We've gone from using the dictaphone to using a dictaphone. New rule, boarding groups C and D have to back the hell off. Oh, everyone knows what you're doing, boarding groups C and D. You're trying to infiltrate boarding groups A and B. Until the gate agent says screw it and accepts any old boarding pass. Well, not on my watch. This is an American airport, not a Japanese subway. Now that health officials in Hugo, Colorado have warned people that their water contains high levels of THC, they have to tell residents one thing: how the hell are we going to get the kids out of the pool? New rule, my mechanic must This seems so out of place now. New rule, my mechanic must stop showing me the old part that he replaced. I don't know what it is, and you don't know what it is. For all I know, it's like the bill, something you just pulled out of your ass. Jesus Christ. I'm trying to find something we can agree on. Vietjet, the Vietnamese airline that has seen sales soar after dressing its flight attendants in bikinis, has to go all the way and rename itself Me So Horny Airlines. Me So Horny Airlines. We'll head for the clouds while you make it rain. Oh, God. Someone must tell Donald Trump he met with the wrong Oz. Oh, I already did this joke. Oh, no, I didn't. Oh, no, go back. Sorry. He doesn't need a doctor. He needs a brain. Oh, yeah, we did that.
You
joke.
did that joke.
Yeah, fuck that.
It's good, though.
Next joke.
Still true.
Sorry, we're a little rusty. New rule, whoever cropped this photo deserves the Congressional Medal of Honor. Because my eyes have seen a lot of things, but if this is Donald Trump lovingly cupping Bill Clinton's scrotum while Bill pats him on the back, the libertarians are right. We need a third party. Well, President Obama must admit that this look doesn't say, I have deep respect for Native American culture and traditions. It says, yes, Republicans, now I am just fucking with you. The new rule in the next debate, when Donald Trump starts going on about how everything in this country is a total disaster, Hillary must lean into the mic and say, wrong! The stall for your black Republican committee has to have at least one black person in it. Even worse, if you look at the picture, it looks like there may have been a black person there before, and now the white people are trying to decide who made the offensive remark that made him leave. part of the growing movement known as ecosexuals. That's right, ecosexuals, who have sex with the earth by hiking naked, skinny dipping, masturbating under waterfalls, and, yes, fucking trees. You have to stop doing that. Or at least hurry it up. My dog is waiting to use that tree. Well, stop saying it's just a tabloid rumor that Camilla Parker Bowles' gas is so bad they nicknamed her the Queen of Farts. And Charles has banished her from Highgrove House. One, I want to believe it. And two, I want England to take us back. And I don't want to hear anything about whites being a superior race until one white person at a wedding learns the words to Earth, Wind, and Fire, September. You've had 40 years to get this. 40 years where it's been played at every white people wedding, birthday, convention, reunion, office party, Christmas party, real estate seminar, and hunting accident memorial. And here's what your Uncle Doug retained. Do you remember? Na, 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 na. 3 words in 40 years. That's why we don't win anymore. Axl Rose of Guns N' Roses has to stop fighting to get a so-called fat photo of him taken down off the internet. I mean, how bad can it? Never mind. Never mind. And the next time a Christian dies by mistake and makes a brief visit to heaven, while he's there, he needs to ask Tupac Shakur, do you know you're selling Sprite? And finally, new rule, Americans must take the rest of the summer to contemplate the fact that we get far less vacation time than any other civilized country, which is maybe why on the World Happiness Index, we're down at number 17. Have you ever wondered, for example, why every Australian you meet is 20 times happier than you've ever been? I have never met a single Aussie who wasn't the life of the party, and I think I figured out why. They don't have jobs. They just travel and drink and try to steal your girlfriend. In fact, I think Australia is just one giant pyramid scheme and... Stop, wait. I need a vacation too. All right. New rule.
The most impressive part of the show.
Really?
That you're going to go into a little stand-up act here.
Jerry.
And I'm going to sit right next to you. I have a stand-up act myself.
Oh.
And I'm not going to do it.
I may call you from the bullpen. New rule, when Dick Cheney says it's killing time, he has to look less happy. Or just wear Pharrell's hat. You know, this face doesn't say reluctant warrior. It says, no, Mr. Bond, I expect you to die. It's time to admit that couples massages are really stupid. There must be better ways to celebrate your anniversary than lying half naked 2 feet away from each other while younger, better-looking people rub you. It's just not going to end well, especially if it ends well. And finally, if we have to have hillbillies on TV, how about we bring back these hillbillies? At least Jed Clampett wasn't comparing gay sex to fucking a possum. And if you're that taken with a bunch of backwards religious cranks with long beards issuing ridiculous pronouncements, move to Iran. They've got tons of them there. Joel Osment has to admit that in addition to seeing dead people, he also sees cake. New rule, now that liberals have forwarded their agenda by inserting a mass gay wedding into the Grammys, conservatives must match them tit for tat by having a mass shooting at the Country Music Awards. Well, photobombing is officially over. Oh, it was fun for a while, but now I think I speak for all Americans when I say, get the hell out of my picture, ass face. Rule, in the battle for government giveaways, we have to stop thinking in terms of rich versus poor or black versus white and admit it's really a war between the young and the old are winning. When it comes to meeting the needs of our seniors, money is no object. Last month, for example, an Inspector General's report revealed that between 2006 and 11, Medicare spent over $172 million of taxpayer money on penis pumps. Because nobody wants to get all worked up only to go limp when the big moment arrives. Just ask the Denver Broncos. Call me. Terrible. Oh, Yakov Smirnov must explain to the Russian Cossacks who whipped Pussy Riot that in America, pussy whips you. Remember him? Yeah. Ben and Jerry must admit the real reason they introduced their new core ice cream with chocolate and vanilla and a column of fudge in the middle was to taunt Republicans. It is everything they fear about Obama. Half dark, half white, but really dark at the core. But to be fair, they also have a flavor to taunt Hillary. But whatever country this photo was taken in has to let me do acid there. I'm not even sure this is a country. I think it might be gay heaven. Someone in the audience who threw a shoe yesterday at Hillary Clinton has to tell us what she was thinking. After all, this is Mrs. Bill Clinton. If there's one thing she's used to, it's dodging a pump. Well, the Pennsylvania teenager who faces up to 2 years in jail for disrespecting this statue of Jesus must show us he's really got balls and try it with a statue of Muhammad. Oh, don't fucking start with me, because it's gonna get worse right now. Actually, that's a trick question, because there are no statues of Muhammad, because if you made one, there'd be a fatwa and you'd wind up dead. The new rule, I want to believe Representative Vance McAllister, the congressman who was caught on tape last year passionately kissing a staffer, when he says he's a new man and, quote, blessed with a great family and a wonderful Christian wife. But first he has to take his hand off her ass. Before they lose the midterms any worse than they already are, Democrats must learn how to speak to the one group of people who actually vote in the midterms, Caucasians. You know, we hear a lot about the Republicans' inability to reach minorities, but what about the converse? Have Democrats lost the art of talking to whitey? The election is 18 days away and Democratic candidates are about as popular as a Liberian travel agent. This despite the fact that unemployment, the deficit, and gas prices are all down, Obamacare is working, and we're raining fire on 7 countries full of America haters. Gosh, what do white people want? Well, the homophobic people at the American Family Association who refuse to use this Harvey Milk stamp might want to avoid getting any mail from Finland. That is a real stamp from Finland. It's a real stamp honoring their gay icon Tom of Finland, and it really explains what the brawny paper towel guy was always cleaning up. And Next time GM gives a World Series MVP a pickup truck, they should make sure it hasn't been recalled. Because the one they just gave Madison Bumgarner already was. Either that or make an ad that goes, "You just won the World Series. Where are you going next?" Through the windshield. Okay. New rule, someone has to tell Gerard Butler to get out of that car. And run. Don't look back, just run. Although I am glad to see he got that job with Uber. Well, if you're going to get the world's smallest man together with the world's tallest man, come on, they have to do a buddy cop movie. How has this not happened already? They're police detectives who don't want to work with each other because the tall one can't fit in the squad car and the little one is too old for this shit. And one of them is dating Mila Kunis. Sprinkle in some awkward high fives, and come summer, we'll be juggling popcorn statues at the MTV Movie Awards. Well, now that we know that cured Ebola patients can have infectious semen for months afterwards, Trojan must come out with a hazmat condom. Because there's nothing more annoying than having a one-night stand and waking up with AIDS and Ebola. Don't need to see Donald Trump's tax returns. We need to unsee this picture of him and his daughter. Here's how you know your pose is too creepy. If it makes a parrot vomit. A new rule, if Republicans are going to keep calling states laboratories of democracy, they have to start looking at the results from the lab. California raised taxes on the wealthy a lot, and our economy is booming. We just passed France and India to become all by ourselves the world's 6th largest economy, soon to be 5th. Thanks, England. Whereas states like Kansas and Louisiana that went back to the old trickle-down theory of cut taxes on the rich and they'll always do the right thing are financial catastrophes. The results from the lab are in. Our mice are thriving. Yours are dead. Democrats need to stop despairing about the gloomy midterm predictions and realize there's actually a glimmer of hope, and it has to do with suicide. Let me finish. For decades now, liberals pushed the issue of assisted suicide, and it got nowhere. Then they started to call it aid in dying, and its approval shot up 20 points, and it's now legal in 5 states. That's the power of language. And if they took the word dying out altogether and called it early retirement, it would probably win over 10 more states. If they called it death by chocolate, they could get all 50. If your future plans include murdering someone, you probably shouldn't get a neck tattoo that says murder. That's what Jeff Chapman did in Kansas, and now he wants the state to pay for the removal of his murder tattoo because it might make the jury think he had murder on his mind. I got a better idea, Jeff. Wear a turtleneck. Or if that's too gay for you, tattoo "I didn't" on your forehead. And then the jury will see the message, "I didn't murder." Oh, who am I kidding? They'll convict you anyway. Enjoy prison, dumbass. Well, Ludwig Dolizel, the Czech Republic indigent, dubbed Europe's dirtiest man because he makes a fire each night and sleeps in the warm ashes, sadly must realize life holds one more indignity. Donald Sterling doesn't want him taking pictures with his girlfriend. First the bear, now this guy. Well, now that Americans are getting wise to the dangers of being spied on by the government, they have to start getting more alarmed about spying on each other. Because if the Donald Sterling mess proved anything, it's that there's a force out there just as powerful as Big Brother. Big Girlfriend. People who say the most uncomfortable they've ever felt witnessing a kiss was when Michael Sam shared this moment with his boyfriend have to admit they're purposely forgetting the 2000 Democratic National Convention. And all you tough guys out there have to admit you're fine with a man-on-man kiss as long as it means I'm going to kill you. Now that 50 Shades of Grey has been replaced by the trilogy He Watches Me, He Touches Me, and He Claims Me, the author must now write the sequels He Borrows Money From Me, He Impregnates Me, and He Leaves Me. It's terrible, but... Rule, the only time you should take a gun into a Sonic restaurant is when you're robbing it. Yes, lately firearms enthusiasts have been taking their guns out to public places for play dates with other gun owners and their guns. And in the process, frightening lots of properly adjusted people at places like Sonic and Chili's and Chipotle and Jack in the Box, proving once again that America's gun laws are worthless and sad, and that its dining options aren't much better. The people of Malaysia have to consider the possibility that maybe transportation isn't their thing. Come on, this is getting out of control. Your planes are missing, your ferry boats are sinking, and all the sharks in the area are like, ugh, I'm full. Stop making fun of the exchange student who got stuck in a giant vagina sculpture in Germany this week. He was just an inexperienced man in a foreign land. And by foreign land, I mean vaginas, but the kid shouldn't... But the kid shouldn't feel too bad. How many times does an Asian guy get to say, I was too big? The rule, now that 1 in 5 people in the UK admitted they would have sex with a robot, inflatable love dolls must stop looking so surprised. Makes you look surprised, Steve. And order. Now that violent crime is at a 40-year low, someone has to explain why your local police department has gone from this to this. All right, new rule. When a giant Siberian mystery crater appears out of nowhere, geologists need to call it something scarier than a pingo. A pingo? That's a cute little baby dingo. That's a pingo. An icy black Russian hellhole? That's a Putin.